All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Crafts with John from ProCrafts. I'm going to change my screen here, actually, and go here. Sorry about that. We're not going to do the $1 million challenge in the mornings anymore. So you'll notice that we'll start with just me talking to you now on the show. Get back to more of our podcast teaching rhythm, I guess, as it were. Sometimes the $1 million challenge is fun to start with. I used to like doing my YOLO in the morning. I liked doing the old Hawaii Crap Shooters 4-roll challenge in the morning. Those are fun ways to start the show, but they can take a while. So unless I do something quick, like a 4 rolls and out kind of a thing, that can take a half an hour and kind of burn the show. So we're not going to do it anymore. I think it's best to do that at a later day. So what we're going to do, I think, is this. We're going to move the $1 million thing to Fridays. So Friday Follies will now be the $1 million challenge day. So basically what I'm going to do is this. Friday Follies, I always do some crazy strategy that I would say you should never play this in a casino. That's still going to be the case. But I'm going to take the Friday Follies crazy way to play and use that as my $1 million challenge play. So we're going to combine a little bit of crazy fun with the $1 million challenge. I'm going to spend that whole show trying to make the $1 million. I might even do like multiple sessions in a thing if we can get it to work. So that's going to be the new rhythm here. So no more $1 million in the morning. We'll do it on Fridays. We'll do it one day a week. We'll just try and hammer it up and see if we can do it that way. That way it becomes kind of a nice little standalone show too. We can always cut that out and make that a thing. So that's going to happen on Fridays from now on. Today I want to talk to you about the storm, where we are with the storm, how it's gone so far with our couple of test runs, and then we're gonna wind ourselves back to basic Johnny here, back to my roots, as it were. So let's go talk about some stuff. So first things first, let's go to the storm. So the storm, so far we're playing it like this. We're doing a $50 don't pass. We're going with $180 or $200 in odds, depending on the point. So if it's 5 or 9, 6 or 8, it's 180 in odds. That wins you on the 6 or 8. That wins you a net $200, which is great because in 6 or 8, as you can see, we have 162 across. Okay, so the 180 in odds wins you 150 plus your flat don't, you're up a little bit. On the 5 and 9, where you have 169 across, we go again with 180 in odds. That wins 120 plus the $50 don't. That's 170. It covers your action up top. So there's no profit there, but it covers your action essentially. On the 4 and 10, I'm going 200 in odds just to make it even. That wins you a net 150, and you have 179 across. So the 4 and 10, you're a little actually upside down on the don't. I don't like that, but that's the way that Greg and Chris designed it. So I'm going to stick with that on the basics. I'm going to add in, I forgot to do it today, $10 any craps bet, because I want to be out of here in 2 rolls. No more looking for 2 hits. Let's try and get out of here in 2 rolls. Even if the $10 craps check costs me $10 twice, and we pull $80 off instead of $100 off the table, that's going to be okay with us. It is what it is, right? If we catch one, it'll win a little bit extra. It's fine. So that's going to be one change for sure we plan to make. I didn't make it today because I forgot to as we were going. Another option here is to do the Darksiders 6 and 8 lay on the way out to save that $50 don't. I'm not sure I love that actually, but whatever. I'm not a huge fan of hedging. Hedging, I know in the moment works a lot. Like grabbing a hard 8 when the point's an 8. It works sometimes and you feel like you're a hero when it works, but most of the time it doesn't work and it feels like it just bleeds you dry without you realizing it. It's like, where'd my money go? Well, you lost $40 randomly throughout the day and that you shouldn't have lost. That's what happens when you hedge too much. And I think that can happen with that one. It can happen with the anti-craps. It can happen with the hard ways. But this is a safety play. This is a Greg from 555 Craps' mind, kind of a safety play to get you through and be able to start playing some right side stuff. So once we regress from the outside in, we're basically at 64 across. And we have our choice here. But there's lots of things to do when you're at that point. And I want to talk about that maybe a little bit here today, but really, actually, no, let's do it. Let's go to the table. I want to show you, I've been thinking about this all morning, and I want to run through this with you and just get your thoughts on it, because this actually cooks into one of Dan's questions, which is how many come bets to play in the Horseman. So let me run up here the storm real quick and give you an idea on this. Because I was thinking about this last night, because it really comes down to, like, how does that $64 play? So let's go ahead and get ourselves set up really quick. Let's see. I'm going to do I'm just gonna set it up, not from my rack, just gonna set it up straight up. And we'll play it one hand through, and let's hope the dice cooperate a little bit for us here. So there's our 205 across. There's our $50 don't. Let's catch a point here. Point will be 5. So we don't need that, but we'll have our 180 in our lay bet, right? So don't pass, 50 bucks, 180 lay. Everything else is effectively 204 across, okay? Everything here pays 50 for one. Let's catch a couple here, and I may force it just to kind of get through it. There's a Yo 11. There is a 9, which pays 50 bucks. There's a 6, which pays 50 bucks. Now, actually, the 9 pays 50 bucks. The 4 and 10 come down. I should play this right. 4 and 10 come down to 10. They're only there to have something happen on the next roll. The 6 comes down and pays 50 bucks, okay? And we bring everything back. So you could be here. $12 there. $12 there. 64 across. And here, by the way, is your 175. There's $210 come back off the table, which means you're in profit right now. You're actually 100 bucks in profit. If you think about what we were out here for, which is 169, we're in profit. An option we have, right? Take the odds back. We don't need the odds. I'll put them back here in the bank. Take the odds back. Take the $64 off the table. Okay? And let's look at where our rack actually would be right now. Okay? You would have had these bets out here. There's the 9. There's the 6. There's the 8. This is what our bets were. Right? The 4, the 10, the 9, the 6, and the 8. That was our bets. That's what came off the table. Right? So we profited in that shooter 75, 95 bucks. Actually, sorry, 120 bucks. We could put this back on our rack. And instead of being out here 64 across, so 50, 64 across with $55 in profit, what we could be doing right now is a horseman, right? Points 5, we have a don't pass. You can go, and here's the answer to the question. I like a 4-to-1 ratio horseman, 3 or 4-to-1 ratio horseman. So 50 bucks to me means 3 $15 come bets. And there's one. I'll put the $75 in profit in my rack. I'll break that up into 2 slots of 15. And there's a come bet coming. Okay? 75 in lock, 50 on the don't. We took money off the table, and now we're going to go here. Well, that's cool. 15 bucks. Right? We can rack that or stack that either way. That goes to the 9. Another come bet. And again, it's only 3. That goes to the 10. And our third come bet, looking for a 7 here at some point. There's the 7. That pays that. That pays that. And you're out of here with an extra, look at this, 75. That's 100, 175, 200, and whatever that is, 220 bucks, right? Turn it into the horseman instead of going 64 across and trying for a monster roll. That's an option for us here, right? So I think the storm can be looked at as any kind of a 3-phase play, okay? And the reason why I showed you that is because as I come back over here to the screen, let's consider the storm as the first of many ways to play 3-phase craps. And here we go. Let's take a look at my you know this, if you know me by well enough now, here's how I play craps, right? I do want a home run, right? I like me a home run, but I like to be safe early. So my number 1 rule, 3-phase craps, get out of the hand, get 2 to 3 hits or rolls and be out like we just did, right? We catch the 204 across, boom, boom, 2 rolls, and I got my money back, right? The storm brings you back quickly, right? That style of play brings you back quickly. You're out of the hand in 2 rolls or 2 hits with some profit, right? In that case there, we had 64 across plus 40 bucks in the rack, whatever it was, or whatever it was in the rack. So you're out 120 in profit, right? That's a wonderful thing. You could just walk, by the way, with that, but you're out of the hand. Then you're going to get up. Your next move is to get up. What is your actual win goal? Take that next little bit and get a win goal out of it. Now, it may take you 2 or 3 rolls, maybe 4 rolls to get to your win goal, but you can take that little bit of profit you pulled, put it in work. I just did it right there with the horseman, right? We took our first phase, got out of the hand. Our second phase, take the winnings from that getting out of the hand, use that to achieve your daily win goal, which we just did, 250 bucks or 240 or whatever that was in wins that we just had, right? You could be done for the day, or you could say, well, I got out of the hand, I won 220 bucks. Let's take, 110 of that and stash it as forever profit. Let's play 110 inside with the rest. Now you're going to go off, right? Phase 3 is going off. So 2 or 3 hits getting out, 2 or 3 hits getting up, and then the rest of your day going on a crazy run. That's the idea, right? If you can pull that move off on most shooters, you're going to be a long-term winner in this game versus just going out there and praying for a miracle out of the gate, right? So this whole week, what I've been trying to think about is ways to go and just work on phase 1. How do we get out of the hand? What are the ways, right? Yesterday we looked at, I'll demonstrate it again, the squeeze play from Casino Quest, 110 or 220 inside. You spread out to the 4 and 10, and then you regress after the second hit. It's a 2-hit strategy that spreads you out and comes down. The risk on that one, as you'll see, is not being fully covered. You don't have all the numbers covered, so you're going to burn that bet a lot. You're going to burn on the squeeze play about 30% of the time, which is a lot. High burn rate on that one for sure, because you're only on the inside. Today, what I want to do is look at things like the wedge or the Dallas drawdown that we've done before. The wedge is basically the storm is the wedge from the don't, effectively, right? The wedge by itself as a naked play compared to the storm is an interesting comparison, but the idea there is to pull down as you go and reduce risk as we go. So today I want to talk about your phase 1 play, you're getting out of the hand, using a shrink down, a drawdown, a pullback, a regression, whatever you want to call it. However you want to do it is fine. Jacob was saying this morning, we can keep naming things, all these different, it doesn't matter what you call these things, right? It's the move that you're making is drawing yourself down from a higher level on a tiered basis, either from the outside in or from the top all the way down. So let me show you a couple of options here. And I want to review, again, the squeeze play with you. So let's go back to this view here. Now I'm going to re-review the squeeze play, and then I'm going to show you again what I'm talking about for today. And again, my apologies for my voice. I have a cold, so my nose is a little stuffy, and I apologize for the weak voice. But here we go. Let's do the squeeze play the traditional way. I'm going to show you a couple ways that you can run this. Okay, first we'll do the kind of the big boy squeeze play, which is 220 inside. It's a lot of money. Okay, to play this way, you're going to need a $2,000 buy-in because this is going to burn. You're going to burn this 220 for sure about 30% of the time. But here's the thought behind it. Okay, let's just roll. Let's get it going. There's a 7, 3. I'm going to do it really quick. There's a 6 as a point. Okay. Matter of fact, we're going to go ahead and save these dice. Let me do this over here and put this out of the way. I'm going to try and save the dice here for you so we can execute the same rolls. There's an 8. So 6 is the point. We'll do it this way. There's an 8, which pays 70 bucks. 50, 70 bucks. What we do in the squeeze play is we grab the 4 and 10 for $35 each. Now everything pays 70. So if you catch an inside number first, you're golden, right? Now you're going to be out. But again, not having the 4 and 10 early is a problem because you could be here for 4 or 5 rolls and never see the inside rolls. How many times have you seen a shooter 4, 10, 3, or 4, 3, 10, 11, 12, 4, you're not getting anything and these 7's out. That's the problem, the big downside here with squeeze play. Let's get one more number. Hopefully something good. There's a 4, perfecto. Again, I'll do it at this rate. We'll pay 70 bucks. Okay. Now the squeeze play has you drop it down. The traditional way of squeeze play is to go down to 160 across. But I'm going to show you something else that you can do. There's 160 across. Okay. You went out there for 220. Remember. So where are we at here? We have 150, 200 bucks. Those are both $25 out. You're 200 bucks. You're out here for 160. You started out with 220. So you have 160 across and it cost you, you're still $20 upside down. Another way to do this, by the way, is to just go 96 across, right? Just go 75, 85, 95, take that 96. And now, instead of being down, you're actually even, effectively, right? 96 across, taking these back, there's your 220, and you're up 44 bucks, right? You don't have to go to 160 from 220. You can go from 160 or 220 to 96 and be up $44 as you're playing across $96. That's the squeeze play, which is a good regression. It's a 2-hit system, which is good. It fulfills that need for me, but you are missing out on the 4 and 10 early, which is a danger for me. That's a red flag. I think that's when I've tried the squeeze play, I've gotten burned more times. Again, 4, 3, 10, 11, you're getting everything but the numbers on the inside. You can crash and burn. I like to grab all the numbers where I can. Sorry, but I dropped all my chips. All my fresh, brand new chips fell on the floor. By the way, while I'm picking these things up, how do they look? Can you see them on screen pretty well? Hopefully they're a little more clear for you to watch. Okay, now I'm going to switch over and do a couple of drawdowns with you. I want you to look at the difference in rhythm here with drawdown, because that squeeze play, as cool as it is, you're at risk the whole time. Your 220 is at risk until you're out of the hand. Okay, let's look at the 204 across. Just the 204 across. We'll do a wedge from 204. Now, out of the gate, the money is a little less. Okay, 204 versus 220. It's not an enormous difference, okay, but it's a difference. You're out here at 204 instead of 220. Okay, so it's $18 or whatever, 16 bucks, whatever. Now, let's take those same rolls that we just had, okay? The 6 rolls, okay, that's our point. The 8 rolls, that pays 50 bucks, and the 4 and 10 come down. And they go to $10 each with a nickel and change. The first thing you notice about the wedge, right, which is what this is this. Your risk goes down. We started out with 204 in risk. We took a hit. We took the 4 and 10 down. Our risk now is not 204. It's 204 minus 80, whatever that is. It's 124, okay? Now you're out here for 124. If the 7 comes now, you're losing 124 versus 220 in the squeeze play. So on the 1 roll and out, this cuts your losses a little bit more, which I like. I like that. Now we catch a 4 here, which kind of sucks, right? That pays 18 bucks. Not the greatest result when it's an outside number on this one, but it is what it is. And again, we're going to regress all the way back now to 64 across. On the second hit, no matter what happens, you are out of this thing, okay? We started out 204. Where are we in our risk? There's 100, 150, 175, actually 100. There's $205, right? So we actually, if you take whatever, we're 205 instead of 204. So we're $3 in profit in those same 2 hits, the same set of rolls, right? We're in profit at 64 across. Now we're not at 96 across like the other one was. Okay, we're at 64, but we're out of here in profit. And we reduce our risk as we went, which is, I think, the magical part of that kind of play is taking your risk out of it kind of as you go. So I do like that part of this one. You catch the extra numbers out here in the 4 and 10, and you're out with profit into instead of out and being light into. Now again, squeeze play, you can go to 96 instead of 160, so that you can be out in better profit. Now let's take a look at a more aggressive drawdown. We'll do 320 across. And again, it's an across bet, the Dallas drawdown. And I've shown you this one before. This is more of a tiered regression. So 320 across. So it's 50 bucks per number. All right, again, we set that point at 6. We catch an 8 that pays 70 bucks. Okay, again, watch this move. 50, 70, and you draw it down by a whole level. Everything comes down. Regress me to 160. So every bet comes down a full level, like so. Okay, remember, you're 320 out. There's 100. There's 200, 225, 230. You started out at 320. Effectively, there's 220. Back in your rack, okay? $10, whatever it's changed. You only have 100 bucks at risk now. because of what you pulled back. So in one roll, you went from 320 at risk to 100 in risk on that move, okay? When the 4 rolls down here and it pays $50, and your next move is to bring me down to 96 across, there's 75, 85, 95. I'll borrow $1 from my friend, okay, just to make the numbers easier. You're 96 across here. That's what this represents, and you're up 1 1/4. Okay, I'm sorry. There's your 320 now. 320. You're up $25, and you're 96 across. Okay, so compare that to the squeeze play. 220 at risk, but you're missing out on 6 numbers. 320 at risk, and the first roll, you reduce your risk down to $100. I like that rhythm better, although the outlay is bigger. And for your dealers, that's not very tough to deal. That's actually from 320 to 160 is an easy regress for them to make. You're not changing any colors. When you go to 96, that's a little bit of a pain in the ass. I get it, to change colors. But yeah, you're basically out of the hand at 96 across and ready to go in essentially 2 rolls with a little bit of pullback, right? And again, getting to base through shrinkage, right? Through either the wedge play where you're bringing the outsides down, leaving yourself where you want to be, or this kind of play where you're bringing yourself down, and ending up where you want to be. Either way, you reduce your risk as you go versus the squeeze play where you're at risk the 220 the whole time. So until you get your second hit, you're at risk for the whole 220. Here, in these plays, your risk goes down as you go, and you also end up at the same spot, which is kind of cool. So there's a look at a couple of ways to kind of get out of hands quickly. Now again, I'm not saying that there's no risk in this, right? Going 320 across is a risky endeavor, you know, and you can do the same pattern as the wedge from 320. So again, let's roll it out. Let's actually roll new dice here. Let me get the 2 reds. Let's take this 320 and do it a couple ways, just to kind of see how it feels. There's a 3, there's a 9. Okay, our point will be 9. Let's try and get a couple of hits here if we can. Let's get lucky. Let's get lucky. Ah, frickin', I hate hitting the point. This happened to me this morning. This is what killed us today in the. This is what killed me today in the storm, in the morning run, because we kept buckshotting our point, which is fine, but you get paid one time, right? One time you get paid, and then you know, the puck's off. You're not getting any juice on the repeats. So all right, so let's do this first time. We'll do this as a wedge play. All right. So we're 320 across. The first hit was $70. Take the 4 and 10 just down to 1/4. Just 1 unit down. Okay. I'll put the monies out here. Out there for 320. We have 120 in the rack right now. So now our risk is $200 total. We need a new point. It's going to be again a 9. Our next move again on the storm play is going to be to pull the insides down to 110 with whatever comes up. There's an 8. Sweet. That pays $70. We're going to pull the insides down to 110. Let's take a stab at where we are. Remember, we started out there with 320 across, right? There's 100. There's 250. 300. So we're out here now at 160 across, and we're in for $20 is what that turns into by going down just halfway. Instead of going to 96, if you could take this down to 15, right? But going from 320 to 160 in 2 hits, you're here for $20 in that realm. Again, those same hits would have been full profit had we done the full drawdown. Let's do it again. I'm going to do one more run. Getting out of the hand quickly from 320. And the kind of cool thing is this, and people don't play this way very often, but it's kind of nice to have pulled that $100 off the table. Let's look at what happens if you pull it all down too. There's an 8. Was making a new point. What is it? New shooter, new direction, all that stuff, right? There's a 4 hard. Cool, that pays $100. And again, if we're going to do the full drawdown, go down a level. Everything comes down. From 320, we now have 100, 200. We're at 260. So we're really, this is below $100 in risk now, right? Because the 4 was the one that hit instead of an inside number. There's a 9, sweet. That's gonna pay $35. And we go to 96 across. 75, 85, 95. Bring this back. I can break one of those into whites, 96 with 4 change. And look at where we are. 100, 200. And we are out of this hand, and we're playing at 96 across. Right? That's pretty, there's actually 1, 2, 300, and if I make that look like nickels, there's your 320. There is $74 in profit, and we're 96 across. That drawdown is a crusher. Now look at this. Your 320 is out here, right? You're out of the hand for 320. We actually have 100, 25, 30, 135 in profit. Okay? You don't have to go at 96 across and play for a hot shooter. Like, we think that we're creating opportunity, right? And I think this is a point that I have to make more clearly and more often. The right side player, and I'm guilty of this as much as anybody else is, right? We did all that work, we put all that money at risk, and now you can play for $96 and try and go for a freaking home run, right? But you also have locked up $140 in profit in that shot. Why go back out again? Why not consider trying it again? Let me color these up and show you what I mean. There's 125, 135 is what we profited there. There's no reason why you can't let the shooter 7 out and come on back out again at 320. And just do it again, right? Pull the same move off. And you pull that same move off twice, right? And that's $250 in profit. And that's nothing to sneeze at, by the way. New point. That's going to be the 7 out for the last shooter. New point coming. Come out 7. There's a 9. Okay, so we're on a 9. Maybe we get lucky. Nope, we burned it. But you get my point, right? If you can pull this is so common, right? You could, if you pull it off a second time for another 140 in profit, you could be done for the day. Like, that move is a great move. In this case, what would have happened is we would have played for the $96 and burned it, still have the $40 or whatever in profit, and try it again, and we still would have got crushed here, right, on the next shooter. But you see the point, right? Playing these ways that get you out of a hand quick can also get you off the table quick. So remember that. It's not obvious to folks that that's a move you can make, right? Getting off the table quickly is the same as getting out of a hand quickly. There's a point of 6. Let's do it one or two more times here. There's a 5, all right. I like the full across drawdown. We'll do $70. Actually, we'll do 75 for 5. 75 for 5. And bring ourselves down. I'll keep all this over here. We'll color this up in a minute. Let's get ourselves out of this hand first. There's a 6. Fantastic. $35. 25, 35. And I'm coming down. Let's see where we ended up. Let's do a quick check here, right? 100. There's 3. So there's 500. 1, 2, 3, 4, 500. 50, 550. 560. We went out there for 320 and we burned one, right? We got a full 320 burn out of that whole thing, right? If you pay the 320 that you got burned on back, 3 1/4, right? We're a little bit upside down, but not much. There's 100, 200, and whatever that is, $265. So we're down, what is that? 40, we're down $60 after pulling it off twice. I think, and I said this before, I think in the unknown, betting across is better than just doing this. I know that a lot of people will ridicule me for this statement, but this is no different than this. And I've proven this to you. I've done this in WinCraps, right? We've seen this. This bet here is no different than this bet here. And the reason why I say that is this. You're going to win 10 times out of 36 outcomes. You're going to win 10, you're going to lose 6. Up here, you're going to win 24 and you're going to lose 6. Ultimately, you're going to lose the exact same amount of money in both cases. Over the course of time, you will lose the same amount of times you're supposed to lose. You'll lose bigger chunks here, smaller chunks here. You're going to get out of this hand way more often than you get out of this hand, right? This works more often than that does. And when you don't know what's coming in a random world, which we live in, cover more, get out quicker versus covering less and maybe never getting out. I would rather give my chance to get out than to cover less and not. So that's my spiel for today. I really am, again, I played this game long enough to know and seen enough to know. I spent a lot of my life here. I spent a lot of my life, not there. I spent a lot of my life here at a $12 6 and 8, right? And watching it fester away. Taking this bet nowhere. I've watched that bet, that set of bets burn, make me 14 bucks, right? We've all done this, $14 on the 6 and 8, spread it out to here, right? At the $5 tables, right? And you've got your $6 back in your rack, and then the 7 comes, and all day long, getting crushed, right? Or watching my $12 6 and 8 sit there and die on the vine. The longer I play, the less I want to play. I don't want to be here for 6 rolls waiting for these things to hit. I want to be out. I want to be done playing as fast as possible. And I'm more apt nowadays to do that drawdown and run with the money versus do the drawdown and play it all the way out. Depends on factors, of course, but that's sort of where my mind is anymore. It's like, let's get out of this hand quick. Give me all the chances I have. That's why the squeeze play to me is a problem, because I don't have the 4 and 10. And every time I'm not on the 4 and 10, that's what's coming, right? I'd rather just cover my bases, give myself a chance to get out of this hand and run for the hills when I get a chance to. So that's just me, right? That's my take on it. I'm just tired of I'm tired of watching, right? Tired of watching bets not win. I want to get the hell out of here. So there is that. All right, let me go here and get back to you all. Let's see, I'm going to go to questions. What do we have for anybody? We have kind of a small crowd. The crowds have been smaller the last couple of weeks. I don't know if it's because of the Hawaiian crap shoes are going live at the same time or something, but we have a lot less people here. Those of you who are here, I appreciate you. Let me tell you that. Hey, look, Gino's here. Hey, Gino, say hi to everybody. Say hi to the crowd. Yeah, you're my guy. Get on down. On down. There you go. All right. Dan, how many come bets in horsemen? 3. Ideally, your ratio is 2 to 1, 3 to 1, or 4 to 1. I don't like the flat bet and the come bets being the same size. Hey, leave it. I rather like it when they're 2 to 1. Because you think about it, $20 DP and a $10 come bet is a $30 win. If that come bet is set and the next come bet is 10, you're still winning 30, losing 10, you're still up 20 bucks. If that come bet gets set and the third come bet experiences a 7, you're still winning 30 and losing 20, right? You're still up 10 bucks. So a 2 to 1 ratio, you're going to win on the 7 on each roll. If it's 3 to 1, that is better. If it's 4 to 1, let's say it's 40 bucks, 10, 10, 10, you're in good shape all the way through, which I think is hold on. Get out of there. Get. Sorry about that. Forgot to close the bathroom door and dog's in the toilet, as dogs do. So there's the answer there. CRC, Kevin, thank you. Liking the new chips. So everybody like the new chips? The new chips are cool, right? I think they show up pretty good on screen now. I bought that, like I said, I designed them for the show, so they show up good. Hopefully you like them. Arcadie's not familiar with the Horseman strat. You can go to ProCraps YouTube channel, and I'll show you. There's the base strategy is there, as well as like 4 or 5 variations of it. It's my favorite way to play. I play the Horseman more than anything else. It's just I know a lot of the math guys hate it, but to me, that strategy is it's the most consistent winner I've ever played, for sure. It's so simple to play, and it gives you ways to build yourself out. I can do more of that. I might even do it for a paycheck one of these days, but it's a don't pass and 3 come bets. No odds on the come bets until you win. If a come bet wins, you can take the winnings from that, use it as odds on one of your other set come bets if you want to, or you can keep the come bets cycling through, but you're always good for the 7 in that one. It's designed for the shorter rolls. If you get your a longer roll, that's great because the come bets will start paying, and then you can convert them to place bets. It's a good beginner strategy. It's a good feel the table out strategy. It's a good weather the storm strategy. It's not going to be a home run hitter, but it's very good at that level. So yeah, it's one of my best ones. Yeah, the quarter pounder also dark side, 2 wins, and then whatever after, another 2 hitter. I'm going to cover that one on Friday, I think. I think Friday, I forget the order of the shows. Let me go back here. I'll actually show it to you. Today we did, yesterday we did the squeeze play spread out. Today we did the shrink to base. Tomorrow we're going to do splitting the sisters, where you're splitting and bringing down. And then Friday, we're doing pressing on Thursday. Friday, I'm doing a cross, or the iron cross. So the Friday will be the quarter pounder with ease. I've got plans for each day of the week to kind of get different ways to get out of our hands, and that's one of them for sure. I think that to me, the quarter pounder with ease is great. The only issue with it is that you're only getting $50 out of it. So you're gonna have to make that $50 work really, really hard to make money on it. So, John Pond, if I am shooting to represent weaknesses and strategies to random tossing, what about DI shooting for the bankroll? I do DI shoot for the bankroll. I don't random toss out there in the garage. I'm just not very good. Honestly, I'm learning that chopper throw. I'm okay at it, but I'm learning, like I keep getting tweaks from Gargoyle and from Cage to change what I'm doing. So I'm not very good. I'm in this transition phase with it. I'm terrible. So it comes out random out there, which is fine. Ultimately, even a DI is random. DIs over the course of many, many, many rolls will be a perfect pyramid. They'll have more bigger rolls than shorter rolls, but ultimately their distribution is going to be the exact same. There's no getting around that. And they'll all tell you that. You can look at anybody's bone tracker for beyond 720, and the closer you get to 10,000, the more it looks like a regular pyramid. Just the way that DI works. But those short runs are what you're looking for. But yeah, I'm trying to run it with DI out there and make myself money. It doesn't look like it, but I really am trying for that. Yeah, my throws are better and worse at the same time. Like I'm trying to throw it deeper now. I'm trying to get the landing zone within 1 inch of the back wall instead of on the lines. I was trying for like 8 inches of play. Now I'm going for 1 inch of play, which is tougher. So much more random, much more haphazard than I ever was before, for sure. And yes, you can, and I will show it for sure at the higher levels. I'll definitely show the quarter pounder at 2 levels up, at the regular base level plus the high level. And again, I think you have to work backwards. When you're doing these things, maybe I didn't say it clearly enough earlier, but you got to work backwards. Like, do I want to be at 64 across or 96 across? And you tune your other play to land you at 64 or 96 or whatever you want to land at. Whatever drawdown or regression or whatever you're going to use. If it's 2 hits and press, it could be pressing style. Look at the back end of that thing and say, I want to end at 96 across. So if you go 160 across or 320 across and take $70 and just same bet it twice, that's 140, you can be at 160 across, right? If you're going to go 320 rather and take, a hit and press the inside, you're targeting a higher bet level. You just got to work backwards. Work backwards from your thing. See, 6 and 8 on, yeah, good luck finding a $5 table though, right? That's going to be a bubble crap sting or a tribal casino thing, $5 table. It's good for a small bankroll. However, like I said, you're going to burn that $12. If it's only $6, 6 and 8, you're going to burn it more often than you're going to win with it. And the thing is, when you're betting table minimum, the hardest part of betting table minimum is that there's no place for you to go. And what I mean by that, let me go back to my table here, and I'll explain this to you in the best way that I can. Because this is a massive problem that I encountered again with smaller bankroll plays. $6, 6 and 8 wins you $7, right? There's not much you can do with the $7 other than either pocket it or grab one number at a time. You can grab the 9 or the 5 or the 4 or the 10 and bring $2 back. You've got to, in my opinion, $6, 6 and 8 makes great sense on a bubble craps machine because when you get paid the $7, I'll pay it like this. You get paid the $7 on that 6 and 8. On bubble craps, what I would do is take these down and go 3, 3, 3. Let's get those looking like pennies. $3, $3, $3, and take $1 back. Now you're across, right, for $3 on every number. Right, you're $24 across with $1 change. You take that $12 6 and 8, and you can do that, or the $6 6 and 8 and regress backwards. On a $5 table, the $6 6 and 8 is very hard. All you can really do is same bet it or press it, and it's a full press. Better to me to be at 12 on the 6 and 8 on a $5 table if you can find one, right? And take your $14 that you're going to win. And now you can spread it out. Now you can go with the $14, you're at $6, 6 and 8, $5, 5 and 9, the 4 and 10, and you've got $5 in your rack. That's a better play on that 6 and 8 and a $5 table. Come regress and come out here and spread it out and give yourself a chance to win if you. And honestly, starting at $12, you've got to make that $12 back. You've got $6 so far. You need to get one of these hits, a 5 or a 9 that pays $7. Now you're out of your hand. Now you've got your 5, 10, there's your $12 back with your $1 profit. Now you're okay. But I think what you want to do is play $6, 6 and 8. If you're going to do that, if that's your budget allows, find a bubble craps machine, go from a $6, 6 and 8, spread it out to 24 across in that first hit, reduce them down, go across, and then work from there. And you can do a $1 press, right? $3 5 pays $4.20. Make a $3 5 look like $4 and bring back the $3.20. And do a $1 press on those numbers as you go. Bubble craps, it can be a grind, but if you're low bankroll, that's legit, right? Not a bad way to play it. So that's my recommendation for you down there. Let's see. Yeah, a minimum bet, you got to either power press or you got to spread and do a single press. There's no good way to get out of it. And if you're minimum betting, let's go back over here again. If you're minimum betting at a low budget table, and you power press, if you're playing low budget craps, $100 buy-in, $6 size bets, power pressing is probably not in your arsenal because your money's going to be probably a little bit lighter. So if you're playing with a small bankroll, power pressing is not the answer. Probably a little bit higher and a quick spread is the answer. And I would probably stick on bubble craps where I can make dollar size bets and work it that way. And again, $100 winning $10 or $20 from $100 is a lot. It's a lot of work, number one, but it's also a 20% win. So take that for what it is. Like, work your bankroll at the right size table, especially when you're at those smaller levels. I think there's no shame in doing $3 across bubble craps and getting your free drinks. So, all right, guys, that's it. Is it 9? It's almost 9. I got to go. I'm going to get to work in 10 minutes. So thanks for hanging in with me and engaging and all that. All 30 of you, have a good rest of your Tuesday. I will see you all tomorrow morning for the next session of the Daily Paycheck out there in the garage. Tomorrow, I will put the lay bets out there, and I will remember to do the anti-craps, and we'll get the whole thing hedged out and see how it feels. See how that bleed feels, and we'll see if we can't make a longer run and get some damn money out of it. That thing is definitely set up for success or a tie. Today, it took us 7 rolls to basically get a tie. Hopefully tomorrow I throw better and make some money. But in the meantime, you'll have a great day. God bless every one of you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.